Hi everyone, my name is Doug Smith and I'm the founder of L3 Leadership, and I just want to take a few moments to share with you the story of how we got to where we are and why we do what we do. L3 Leadership really had its beginning when I was a senior in high school. I had a very low GPA, I had no goals, no dreams, no ambitions, and never thought I would amount to anything with my life. In fact, I had determined that when I was in middle school, and I stopped trying in school, and as a result had to rely on summer school every year just to get to the next grade. And in the beginning of my senior year, my mom had a rare nerve disease and ended up passing away in the beginning of my senior year of high school. And through my mom passing away, God did a really special work in my life, and I ended up meeting a family named the Stidel family at a Bible study. And little did I know that they would one day be my future in-laws, and I would meet my wife through that family. But as a result of my relationship with them, they brought me into their family. I had two significant mentors come into my life. One was Mike Stidel, who was my future father-in-law, and one was Larry Betancourt, who was the youth pastor at a church that they brought me to. And these two men saw potential in me and decided to invest in me. They would tell me I was a leader. They told me I could dream big and go for it. I remember my father-in-law saying, "You are going to go to college and you are going to get a college degree. You will do something with your life." And I've never had anyone believe in me. I never had anyone tell me that I could do something great with my life. And it was really, really exciting. And they started giving me resources and opportunities. I remember Larry Betancourt giving me a John Maxwell CD. I didn't know there was such thing as personal growth lessons or CDs or books, and I remember listening to it. It was an Enjoy Stewardship lesson called Standing Tall, and I didn't know it came with notes, so I actually transcribed the whole lesson. I thought it was that good by hand, and I remember feeling like Neo in the Matrix, and I called Pastor Larry and I said, "Give me everything you got on leadership." And so he literally would give me binders of leadership lessons, and I would spend an hour or two every single night listening to those lessons. And I was so grateful for the resources that he provided me with. Another thing that they provided me with was opportunities to connect with leaders that I would have never had access to otherwise. Larry would always bring in leaders from the community, and they would share their best leadership content, and he would encourage us, hey, if you really connected with that leader and want to learn from them, ask them out to coffee, ask them to mentor you, ask them questions. And so I started spending time with leaders once a month, asking them questions and having coffee and just learning and growing, and I did that for about 10 years. And I remember after a while, a lot of my peers started saying, "Wow, it's really cool that you get to spend time with all these leaders. I wish I could do that." And I always tell them, well, you could if you just ask, but a lot of times people are afraid to ask. But I saw it as an opportunity. I thought, what if I started recording my time with leaders that I spend and sharing it with others through a podcast? And the L3 Leadership Podcast was born at that time. And so started doing the podcast. At the same time, I started getting around this vision of for Pittsburgh that one day Pittsburgh would be more famous for God than steel. And I felt God was really calling me and my wife to be a part of that vision, but I didn't know what that looked like. So I spent about an hour and a half on the phone with a guy named Reed Carpenter, who headed up the Pittsburgh Leadership Foundation and has developed tons and tons and tons of leaders in the Pittsburgh area. And I just said, hey, I feel called to that vision, and I feel called to develop leaders, and really what's in my heart, I want to do for others what Larry and Mike did for me. And so I said, what should we do? And he just said, just start gathering people and see what God does. And so in 2014, we gathered a bunch of leaders on Mount Washington, and I cast a vision that we are going to develop leaders. We're going to pour into leaders' lives, and if we'll teach leaders to lead for Christ in all sectors of society, then we'll ultimately play a big part in making Pittsburgh more famous for God than steel. So I shared that. We prayed over the city, and L3 Leadership was born, and we started doing monthly leadership breakfast where we bring in great leaders to share their best leadership content. We started doing mastermind groups, which are very intentional groups to help you grow and develop and launch the dreams in your heart and accomplish the goals that you're having maybe some trouble with. And we've been doing that for about 2 years now, and God's done some great things, and we're just really excited about the future and what's ahead. So that's a brief overview of our story, and why we do what we do is simply to do for others what Larry and Mike did for me, like I said. We really want to, I always think about who are the Doug Smiths out there that don't feel like they're ever going to do anything significant with their life, but they have all the potential in the world. If we can find one or two of those and develop them, and they end up changing their lives and doing something great with their lives as a result, then what we do is worth it. And we also want to pour into leaders who are already established leaders, who have had the opportunities, who have grown and are living on purpose. We hope that we'll help them launch their dreams and help them grow as well, and ultimately become mentors to those people who just need a little bit of encouragement along the way. So I hope that you'll connect with us. You can check out another video that goes over what we do and how you can get plugged in. Thanks for listening. I look forward to meeting you at an L3 event. Have a great day.